Thank you so much, Raj, for joining us on a podcast at Dawdle. Extremely grateful that you took out time to share your insights with our global audience. We have got very interesting set of topics for you, but before we start, would love to understand your journey so as to give a good context to our audience.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, Rishikesh. So it's very good to have on Dawdle for this particular podcast. And yeah, so Raj here and 14 years of experience and 12 years into e-commerce industry. Worked at Amazon for 7 years, and then so I worked at Amazon as a service provider network in a team called Service Provider Network as a senior program manager. So where I used to manage, or you can say manage or train the folks from close to 120 to 150 digital marketing agencies across India, traveled across India, worked with the service providers, make them understand about the Amazon advertisement, how they can actually scale the seller's business, talking to the sellers, connecting the sellers and the service providers ecosystem. And then I moved to another company called Metrics. So that company is a SaaS platform, automating most of the optimizations on the online retail media. Like Amazon, worked as a account manager over there for the Amazon DSP, managed close to $14 million budget. All that been with a very good brands in US, working across the North American platform. And then I also got the exposure to Walmart advertisement and Walmart online retail media management. So I was part of one of the pilot programs from Walmart, onboarded close to 100 to 150 sellers over there for Walmart advertisement. Then I moved up in the ladder again to another company called Una Brands. It's an e-commerce aggregator business where they acquire the Amazon brands and scale up the market for them and scale up their overall profitability and revenue. So I was the director of performance marketing over there. And then, so they are headquartered in Singapore, but their entire marketing team is in India. So I led the entire marketing team for them here in India. There I worked for 1 year, and then I'm at CommerceIQ right now as the director of customer success from since last 2 years, 10 months, I can say 2 years, 2.5 years, I can say. And here, I was the part of customer success team and built the entire India team from the scratch. So when I joined in 2023 April, so the team size was close to 5 people. Now it has become 36 people within the 2.5 years of time. So my forte is all about the Amazon advertisement with respect to the skill set or the technical skills, and with the other non-technical skills, it's mostly building the team and people management, how to nurture the team, how to bring in the like develop the high performance team, and how to build something like a global capability centers. So these are all my fortes actually.
Thank you so much, Raj, for taking us to your journey. Raj, you have witnessed the rise of retail media from simple sponsored listing to sophisticated AI-driven ecosystem. How would you define the current phase of retail media, and what makes it different from the traditional performance marketing?
That's a very interesting question. See, my take on that would be like the basics or the foundations did not change. Way we look at it and the way we optimize this retail media has changed a lot since the sponsored listings to the AI-driven performance marketing right now. So, for example, let's say in uh, 2016, say, when Amazon actually started their sponsored products as the offering to the advertisers. So then at that particular time, we used to tell the tell the advertisers how to create the campaign. That's a big deal for any advertiser just to create the campaign on Amazon, right? Now, when you're looking 10 years down the line, it has changed multifold. So now it is all AI driven. Like we can just give a prompt and then say that, yeah, just create a campaign and it will create the campaign. And it has made very easy. But when you look at the foundation or the basics of what exactly that campaign would do, it remains same. So in very simple layman terms, what a campaign would do, it will take the budget from you and it will take the inputs from you in terms of the keywords. It will take the inputs from you in terms of what advertisement it has to show. And then The system will go ahead and do its work to show the product based on the auction mechanism, what the Amazon or the algorithm, what Amazon has, right? That did not change. The way we work on campaigns has changed a lot because that's the technology, right? The basics remain same. Like even now, for the purpose of that particular campaign, it remains same, but the way you're working is changing a lot. It's simple. Like let me tell you an example, right? The purpose of driving a car did not change. You want to move to a destination, right? Or car, a vehicle, or whatever it is, it did not change. In olden days, like I don't know what's your age, but my age is 38. So in my childhood, I used to ride a bicycle to move from point A to point B, right? And when I moved to a teenage or let's say to an engineering kind of guy, I rode a bike to move from point A to point B. Now I'm driving a car to move from point A to point B, right? So the purpose of driving or purpose of journey did not change, or purpose of my journey did not change, but the way I'm approaching to that is changed. It is similar to that. The way the purpose of advertising your products might not change, like you need more sales from it. The way you approach it, the way you look at it, the way you build those things would change, right? That's the landscape changed right now.
Got it. And Raj, you have managed multi-million dollar advertising budgets across Amazon, DSP, and Walmart.
Mhm.
What are those key levers that you rely on to drive consistent ROAS and efficiency when operating at such a scale?
This is something which I preach every time, like to the brands or the sellers or the vendors, even on my LinkedIn post, which I was actually telling, right? So it's the when you're looking at the main levers, you should not look at your advertisement in silos, right? So you should have the all the departments talking to each other, all the data points talking to each other, right? So not only on Amazon, anywhere you take it, it is something where your every department should talk to each other, right? So for example, let's say you're launching a very good product, right? And if you're not marketing that in a proper way, people would not know that product exists, right? And for example, let's say you're marketing very nicely and you're giving huge budgets to the marketing department, but your product is not in a good shape. Maybe initially you will get like one or two sales, then everything will plummet, right? Here, what you have to understand is especially on the online retail marketing, or let's say any of these particular online retail marketplaces, like you call it Amazon, Flipkart, or Walmart, or Mintra, or wherever it is, your content, okay, should reach to the right audience at the right time, at the right place, with the right price. That is where your success lies, correct? So, for example, I'll tell you the chain of things like which will help you be successful on Amazon, right? So, you're new to Amazon, you listed your product. While you're listing your product, what are you telling the customer, or what are you telling Amazon is that, hey, this is my product, this is the title, right? My brand is this is the product, these are the dimensions, and this is the usage of that particular product, or let's say the advantage of the product usage, right? What is that it is solving. Then you will also upload a few videos explaining how to use the product. You will go ahead and tell about your brand story in the same product detail page. You will tell about that particular product in a very nice way to put it. Like if you go to Amazon and search for any of the phone brands, you will see multiple way of showing that content to the customer. Because the reason why you have to do that, if you look at product page of any of these online retail markets, right? It is not only your product which will show over there. There are multiple other competitors which are hanging to your product page also, right? It is democratized like that, right? So now when you're looking at that level, your content should be very, very strong, because customers should actually stick to your product rather than going to any other product. Now, if you take a step back, how did the customer come to your product page? That is when your marketing will actually help you. Like your advertisement will help you, right? So where your keyword should be in the right place, your audience should be the right targeted audience, and your bidding should be good. Your profitability should be in place to drive that particular traffic. All of these things should play a major role while you're driving the traffic to your product page. Let's take another step back and see that what the inventory management or the supply chain should do. Let's imagine you have very good product. Okay. You did very good marketing and you are selling the products, but you have very less inventory in your stock, right? Now what will happen? So far you have sold very good product, marketing was good, you are being profitable enough, but you did not check your inventory over there and your inventory is being diminishing. You have got only a coverage of, let's say, 1 or 2 days. Can you replenish all the products at the same time? No. Because on the platforms like Amazon or Walmart or Flipkart, once you lose once you get that out of stock as the banner or the tag, you're losing your market share one. You're also losing your bestseller ranking also, right? That's the reason I always tell that these all departments should talk to each other. Only then you will see that, okay, your success is going in the right direction. I'm not saying that you should burn money to go ahead and give it to marketing. I'm not saying that, okay, your content should be like any other bigger players who have very deeper pockets. But I'm saying if you keep all these ducks in a row, then your success will have the steps. Like you can see that it is actually growing in the right direction. If not, it will always see that you will see the success only for a while. You will not see the upticking success over there. And going back to your question, like what are all the levers, whether it is a multi-millionaire or multi-million brand, or let's say it is a brand which is earning only $200,000 per month, right? Or it is earning 2 crores per month. These are all the departments which you have to keep intact as a brand owner, and then oversee all of these things which are happening, and then move forward. Takes the step by step procedure and move towards the success.
Thank you so much, Raj, for explaining this in such a layman terms. Raj, when we talk about retail media, the success depends on precision. Like, you have keyword bidding, audience segmentation, and inventory visibility. How has automation and machine learning transformed campaign management, especially in marketplaces like Amazon and Walmart?
See, I would say rather than looking at the AI as an artificial intelligence where it is using the machine learning or the deep learning, whatever the learning it has got, it should always be the augmented learning or augmented intelligence what you have to look at, right? Yes, AI can actually give you a few of the, or machine learning can give you some of the data points or some of the precision targeting modules where it can actually tell you that, hey, for this product, these are the set of keywords, like 20 keywords, where you can actually go ahead and target, right? I had done this experiment. For example, let's say if you go to ChatGPT and ask, hey, give me top 20 keywords for this specific ASIN or for this specific title, okay, or like where I have to target on Amazon advertisement. What it does, it will take the permutation and combination of the keywords which are present in the title, right? So for example, let's say it is brand X, and then give something like a bag size and women's style, or whatever the specific targeted keywords, you can give it in the title. It will take the permutation and combination of those particular keywords in the title, which is a good first step to have it. But can it give the advanced way of looking at the data and giving you the right information? It will not give you right away, because you should always feed the system saying that, hey, these are my search terms from the search term report on Amazon where I'm getting good conversions, and then it will give you more details on it. So there, something like an augmented intelligence where I'm saying that your natural intelligence, like the human intelligence plus the artificial intelligence, should work together to get this kind of information, right? You can tell the system that, hey, look at my search term report and get me these details and get me these specific keywords. But sometimes you might have heard about this, something called like the artificial intelligence will hallucinate, right? It depends on the data what you're giving. It depends on the inputs what you're giving to him, to that particular system. it will throw the output to us, right? So now you should always have that human intelligence on top of your machine learning and the artificial intelligence, and then work towards your precision targeting. And yes, machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, and all of these specific technologies really helped the way we are targeting the keywords or way we are targeting the audiences. But the caution there is that there should always be a human intelligence on top of all of this, just to monitor and say that, yes, this is correct or this is wrong.
Got it. And when we see AI today, it doesn't only optimize, it basically predicts.
Correct.
So what kind of AI driven capabilities are you seeing, especially in the retail media, which is helping out?
Yeah, definitely. As I said, see, let's talk about the artificial intelligence in the first place, right? So, what exactly artificial intelligence do? It will take the data from you and it will keep on improving itself to ensure that it is giving the right output for you or right prediction for you. That's what the AI will do in very layman terms, right? So, for everything, the data is the base, right? So where you should give that particular chat GPT or whatever the AI software you are using, the data which is required for that to predict in the right way. Once you have that data, it will go ahead and give you that prediction saying that, yeah, if you do this, this should work out. So for example, let's say I want to predict what would be my budget I should actually keep for Amazon marketing in 2026, because I'm at the end of my end of the 2025, right? For that, you cannot really go to chat GPT or let's say any software and say that, hey, give me 2026 budget for my brand, right? If you do that, the immediate answer what you get is that it will tell that, yes, I can give you that, but these are the required information I need, right? Like you should tell about your brand, you should tell about your past sales, you should tell about your past marketing budget, and then it will tell that, yeah, looking at these trends, I'm actually proposing this much budget, right? And you should also tell him what is your goal, right? Whether you want to capture your market share or whether you want the profitability, whether you want to increase your overall sales, you should tell that. Then if it is more advanced, if you're training it more advanced way, then it will throw the output in a way that, yeah, these are the different sets of predictions which I'm making, where I can go ahead and help you to create the media plan for you. But again, as I said, there should always be a human intelligence which should be involved into it.
Got it. Now, retail media now, is about owning the data feedback loop. And I think you have already mentioned it in the beginning. That is connecting sales, supply chain, and media signals. So
Exactly.
how can brands leverage this data convergence to improve not just ad performance, but overall profitability?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So I'll go back to the one which I was talking, that Amazon or the advertisement should not run in silos. It should always take the signals from every department, right? And yes, you can run the advertisement profitably, but how long you can sustain with that profitability, right? So for example, let's say I'm a brand who is selling on Amazon, and my brand is actually being the first number one in the market share. Like I'm the top seller in that particular category, right? Because I was actually spending really good amount of budget on marketing and then getting good profitability. And I'm running a successful business over there. So all of a sudden, if I come back and say that, yeah, because I'm good, my organic sales are really good. I'm getting, let's say, 75% of my sales from organic sales. 25% is what I'm dependent on advertisement sales, let's say. Okay. Yeah. So let's say I'm actually saying that, yeah, 75% of my sales are coming through the organic positions and 25% is coming through my advertisement sales. I'll say that, yeah, 25% is coming through the advertisement. I'll just go ahead and reduce my budget over there. Okay. And I'll always look at the keywords where I'm not being on top organically. Right? I'm losing all my slots on
Mm.
top of the search placements on Amazon. Now,
Yes.
what will happen after 3 to 4 months? Maybe for 3 to 4 months, you will be running very successful advertisement. You will realize that after 3 months, you are losing the market share for your competitors. because you reduced your CPCs, or let's say your bids on
Mm,
the keywords where you're already present organically on top, and then getting those particular sales. But you're not bidding higher on the keywords where your products are not on top. You want to save your budgets and the tacos, what we call. So now what will happen after 3 months, your competitors are actually taking that particular share from you. You will realize that, okay, at one point of time, my overall market share was 30%. Now it has gone down to 20%,
mm,
right? So you have lost 10% of the market share by then. And to gain that market share back,
mm.
you should definitely keep more budget than what you might have kept earlier, right? Circling back to your question and closing the loop over there, it's not about only the profitability every time. Yes, profitability is really, really important, but you should also look at the other signals, right? Like the market share, whether you're winning the market share consistently or not, whether you're being the first best seller or not, whether you have good inventory or not in your system, whether your organic position is safe or not, whether your supply chain is that particular entire supply chain, starting from the source of that particular product to coming to your warehouse and sending that product to Amazon's warehouse, whether every process is in line or not. So you have to look at all of these signals and then say that, yes, I'm a successful brand, right? If that is not happening, then it is a big disaster you are cooking up for.
Raj, you are currently leading customer success for a global retail media clients from India.
Yeah.
What are the key principles or frameworks that you use to ensure clients across geographies see measurable business outcomes, not just marketing metrics?
So for the customer success team, right, the key principles which I always teach my team is that always talk in the language of customer or the client, right? If the client is asking you for X, don't talk about Y, right? So that is one major principle, that you should always talk the client's language. So if the client is saying that, hey, my main goal is that I want to capture the market share. So in every weekly business review or monthly business review or quarterly business review, you should always talk about that as your primary focus, right? Then you talk about the rest of the metrics. What are the measurable things you can actually look at? Like, for example, if the client is saying that, here, I want to capture the market share. Okay. And you should not talk about the efficiency of your marketing. You should always talk about, yes, you have captured this much market share, like let's say 5% of the market share, and during this particular time period, and talk. This is another principle which I will always preach my team, is that don't talk just the numbers. You should talk the reasons behind the numbers, right? So how did you achieve that number? There are multiple ways where you can actually get that efficiency or the market share, but how did you do that? That's what the client would actually be more keen about. Okay, I'll tell you one example. If client is saying that I need a ROAS of let's say $10, okay, and I will say that, okay, I can go ahead and bid on my branded keywords where my ROAS will be $15. I'll
Mm,
go ahead and bid on that, and I will
mm,
show to the client that, okay, I am achieving your target. Is it a good thing? Definitely not. Is it the right thing? It's very, very wrong thing what you are doing there. Clients are very smart. They can actually go ahead and look at that very easily. It's just that you have to talk about, that's the reason you have to talk about the reasons behind the numbers, right? So when you're talking reasons behind the numbers, then you will unfold many other unseen things from the client itself. So for example, let's say a product is really doing well in the marketing since a long time, and then all of a sudden that product sales have gone down, right? Then you have to tell that to the client. You have to bring it to the table and for the discussion, saying that, hey, I see our top revenue generating product is actually seeing a decline in terms of our overall sales, right? Then you would actually uncover something like, okay, yeah, because we have to slow down on selling out because we have an issue at the source end, or my supplier's end. So we have to slow down. That's the reason I have increased my price point. The conversion rate has gone down. This You might not know until you tell this to the client, right? And client would not come and say for each and every ASIN like that, correct? So that's something which I always teach my and tell my team that, hey, talk the customer client's language and talk the reasons behind the numbers. Then you're in a good position. Client will be happy for that.
Oh, this is very insightful. And as automation increases, how do you maintain the human in customer success?
See, as I mentioned earlier, augmented intelligence, that is the key factor. No matter how many automations you're running, there should be some human who are looking at your product. Because even at Commerce IQ, we use our proprietary tool. That is an artificial intelligence tool, right? But why we are existing? Because there should be someone who is monitoring that system regularly so that we can actually go ahead and make the changes when and where and when it is required. Think of this, right? So you purchased one machine or a car, right? And it's an automated car. You cannot run it for like 10 years at a stretch. You have to take that to the car servicing center at one point of time. Like every 10,000 kilometers or 1,000 kilometers, you have to go ahead and do it. Can that car go ahead and do it for itself? We are not yet there. Maybe there will be a time that car will drive itself to the service center and make the everything for itself and come back. That is another world we can live in, but that human intervention is needed, right? No matter whether it is in retail media or whether it is in supply chain, inventory management, even anywhere, right? So you will see that. I'll tell you one example, right? So I had been to one of the places, right? And I reserved a hotel. After I entered there, there was no receptionist there. There is a TV screen, right? And after I entered, the TV screen actually turned on, and there is a person who is talking to me. And he's not in that place. He was sitting in Mumbai, right? He was actually talking to me through a Zoom call, or I don't know what they're using, but he's actually doing all the check-in procedures through that particular system. So you're seeing the technology is making the leaps, but human is still there, right? Because this technology will help you to make your work more easier. Artificial intelligence or any other intelligence is developed not to replace you. It is developed to help you to do your work in much more productive way, right? That's what you have to go ahead and understand about the technology. People are saying that, okay, AI would replace your jobs and all of that stuff. Yes, it might replace the job until you learn about it, right? And I'm sure at one point of time down the line, 5 years, I'm sure that artificial intelligence will be much more cheaper than the human intelligence. Human intelligence will be much expensive in the future, right? Because that will be very scarce because we are more dependent on the technology nowadays. We are more dependent on the convenience nowadays. Look at your 10-minute delivery apps. So it made you very lazy that you are unable to move from your couch and go down to your pop and store, just pop and, the Kirana store just down your apartment and get a product from there. You're okay to pay 30 rupees of delivery charge and you are paying like almost 30 days every day. So that's the thing what like people are using technology in a different way, right? You should use it in a way which it should actually help you. And that's the reason technology actually it got built, right? That's where you will see that even in the retail media, you cannot really remove human element from that retail media management, right? There are so much white space where it is not yet developed to that level that okay, everything is done by a system.
Now, Raj, you have seen both, Amazon and Walmart's ad platform. So, what are the key strategic and operational differences do you see between the two? Like, especially in how they enable the brand to drive ROI?
Yeah, see, both, I think Amazon and Walmart are both different ball games together. I have seen I don't know if many of them, many of the people who are viewing this recording might not know that Walmart, when it started advertisement, it is a first price auction. It's not a second price auction like Amazon. So whatever you bid, you are paying that. In Amazon, it is different. Whenever you bid something, you will be paying the next highest price for the auction or the bid plus 1 cent on. That's how the Amazon advertisement would work. But Walmart, it used to be in the first price option. So whatever you bid, you are actually paying that particular bid price. But it recently got, like, I think 3 or 4 years ago, it got changed to second price auction like Amazon. But with respect to the landscapes, Amazon, it's like a very huge giant right now in retail media, or let's say in the online retail marketplace. Walmart is just starting. It has just started in the last, let's say, around 5 years, I can say, right? Where it started building that sellers and getting all those particular inventory. That vicious cycle of Amazon, which you were telling, right? So inventory management, listing price, convenience, and then it will go back to the customer. So all of these vicious cycles, Walmart is also going into that mode. Both have similarities, okay, but one thing which I observed is that Walmart is more price sensitive than Amazon, right? If you make a small price difference on Walmart, let's say you're selling a product at, let's say, $30. If you make it to $29, you will see the jump in your sales, right? So that difference you cannot see on Amazon. So that's the main difference which I'm seeing. And with respect to the retail media, Walmart is picking up, but Amazon is moving faster than anyone else. Recently, in the unboxed session yesterday, I'm seeing some articles saying that they have actually launched the AI agent also on Amazon advertisement, right? Walmart is still picking up, and it has to do lots of work on getting that technology and getting such kind of robust technology on its platform. But when you compare Walmart advertisement 3 years ago and now, it has tremendously moved forward, right? So it is really, really good right now. I'm seeing people diversifying their budgets also to Amazon and Walmart. Earlier, it used to be only Amazon, but it is not only Amazon anymore. So, and at the same time, when you're looking at the customer base, right? Yesterday, I was discussing this with one of the brands that now it is not the game of Amazon alone. Your sales will be distributed among two or three major online retailers: Amazon, Walmart, and Target, right? So, because earlier, if you look at the Prime Day, okay, the Amazon Prime Day, Amazon is the only player where it used to run the deals and everything. But from last 1 2 years, Walmart and Target also running the deals week and the Target Circle week at the same time where Amazon was actually running the Prime Days. So what's happening there? Earlier, if you are getting, let's say, $100,000 in sales on Amazon, that $100,000 is distributed among three different platforms right now, right? That's where brands has to be very, very cautious that they should not be the late entrants into these marketplaces, but they should be the early entrants.
Now, towards the end of the podcast, Raj, with the rise of retail media network, shoppable video, and generative AI, what does the next frontier of digital commerce look like for both brands as well as agencies?
See, I think for agencies and the brands, content creation will become much easier now, right? So earlier, to create a content, it used to take at least, because I worked for the service provider networking, and I was there for, like, I was working with some image photography service providers kind of people. Like, they used to take at least 1 week of time to get the product to their studio, keep it in a place where the light is really good, keep that particular setup, have a photograph, have the editing done and everything done in 3 to 4 days of time for one product, right? But now in this AI world, it will be much more faster. You just need to give a prompt to Gemini and say that banana image thing. And you can say that, hey, create the image for this particular product. You just give a raw product to that particular Gemini, and it will create at least like 3 to 4 different versions of your product. Amazon also launched recently. They can like people, brands can create the videos out of their products also, right? So there are multiple ways of doing it. I see that brands and agencies should adopt this technology, should embrace this technology, and then use it for good use in terms of the productivity. Maybe earlier you might be saying that it will take 2 days, but now it can happen in 2 hours. So that's the leap which we need to look at, and you have to adapt to it. There is no other option for us. If you are not doing it, your competitor will do it.
And at last, Raj, if you, for all the young professionals who are entering into this high growth space, what are the combination of skills would you advise them to have?
See, the basic skills what any advertising marketeer, or let's say both on D2C, like you take it Google, Meta or anything, or even this online retail marketplaces like Myntra or Amazon or Flipkart or Walmart, anywhere, you just need to have the basic skill of marketing. What is marketing all about? Why people have to advertise that? And you should also have the analytical skills, because marketing is all about numbers, right? You should be very good with your number game. You should be very good with your basic definitions, because I've seen people who have like at least 4 or 5 years of experience really fumble in the interviews, saying really vague answers about how they will calculate very simple metrics like click through rate, right? Or return on ad spend. So these are like very basic things any young professional should have in their career. Like they should understand how these metrics are defined and calculated, because these will not go away. By seeing the numbers, you should understand whether you're doing good or not. It's like a stock market for you, right? So if you know that okay, your stock price, like you're actually improving your overall revenue or portfolio by 10%, you should have that math in your mind. Okay, I invested 100 rupees, I'm getting 110 rupees, right? That's a basic fundamental mathematics what you're doing. It's similar to that here in marketing also. If you don't know your metrics, how it is actually being calculated, if you don't know how the Excel works, if you don't know to do a simple pivot table, right? So you will always be behind the people who already knows about it. So my advice to anyone is that have your basics and fundamentals right. Then you can use artificial intelligence, you can use all of these technology to improve your productivity to the next level.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Raj. Very insightful session. This is, I think, for the first time we have done a podcast on this retail media stuff.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for explaining in such a layman terms.
no
Extremely
problem.
grateful we are at Dawdle that you took out time and shared your insights with us. We'll be in touch, Raj, and look forward to hosting you again.
Cool. Definitely. Definitely. And thanks for having me, Rishikesh. Nice talking and nice sharing my experience with you guys.
Thank you so much, Raj.